Hey team, Kat here. I hope you're great. I'm super excited to share with you tonight how to shift beliefs, how to create content that shifts beliefs. If people aren't taking action on your content, there's one thing that you can do to change that, and that is to shift beliefs. And I'm going to explain exactly how to do it, why it's important, and I'm going to give you a 5-step framework on how to do it. So if people need what you offer, if people need it, and if they have the resources to buy it, and they're not buying it, there's only one reason. And that's because they don't believe, note the word believe, that they don't yet believe that what you are offering is actually going to get them the results that they want. So it's such a fundamental thing that needs to go in all our content, that we change someone's belief, we change their perspective. And I didn't know about this for years. For years, I was doing content and wondering why it wasn't landing, wondering why I wasn't getting engagement, wondering why people weren't reaching out to work with me. And it's because they didn't believe that what I was offering was actually going to get them a result, because I hadn't laid that out in my content. I hadn't learned how to do it. And when I learned how to do it, it was such a game changer. Now that I can see it and I can see how other people are doing it, now I see it everywhere. Belief shifting, belief shifting. The people who are doing content that's working, they are shifting beliefs. Absolutely. It's the number one thing that we can do in our content. I hate that word thing. I can't think of a better word than thing. It's the number one thing that we can do in our content to make it more compelling, to get people to take action. It's not just about attracting people, because we want to attract people, but then we want to maintain their attention. So we want to gain their attention, then maintain their attention, but to actually get them to take some action, to actually reach out and want to jump on a strategy session, or want to join us in our online workshop, or want to download a free resource, whatever our next step action is going to be on our content, then we need to shift someone's perspective. And you might be wondering, like, what actually is belief shifting content? It's basically content that shifts someone's belief about 3 different things. The first thing is the cause of their problem. So often what happens, and if you think about your ideal client or your favorite clients that you love working with, you probably find that the cause of their problem, the way they described it when they came to you, is different to the way you describe it, because you're the expert. You understand the problem intimately, and you have walked that journey so that you understand really what the true cause of it is. So it's the cause of the problem, what they're currently doing to solve the problem. So people think it's this, but it's actually this. And it's like a windscreen wiper. We want to move them from here to here throughout the content. So what they think they should be doing to solve the problem, and then what they're currently doing to solve the problem. So this is what belief shifting content does. We talk about the problem, what's causing it, what they think is causing it, and then what we know is the truth of what's causing it from our expertise. And so you can use this belief shifting content basically everywhere that you show up online. You can use it on your web pages, on your emails, your social media posts, on videos, in your blogs, on your articles, basically anywhere that you show up. And I'm going to share with you a simple 5-step framework to follow, which will make it so much easier. One of my mentors, 𝗪𝗏, he says there's hard work, there's guesswork, and then there's frameworks. Hard work, guesswork, or framework. And a framework makes everything easier, which is why I have frameworks for everything that I teach in my business. So that's the plan, team. Let's have some fun. Hey, those of you who are on here live, thank you so much for joining. So good to have you here. Just pop a hashtag live in the comments if you're here live, and type a hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. It's so great to see those of you who are here. I'd love to know your thoughts. So please pop your thoughts in the comments as we go. Have this as a dialogue. I really appreciate having your addition to the conversation there. So write down what you're liking, write down what's standing out to you. Anything that jumps out, please pop it in the comments. Appreciate you. So how to create belief shifting content. I'll give you the framework, and then I'll give you a worksheet to help you build this out. So if you want a copy of the worksheet, pop the word worksheet in the comments, just write the word worksheet and I'll get you the link. I've got I think it's like a 4 or 5 page worksheet which lays it all out for you. So just put the word worksheet in and I'll get you the link. So there's 3 high level steps that we need to do. The first thing we need to do, step 1, is we want to write down what are their current beliefs. So we want to identify their current beliefs. What do they currently believe about themselves, about you, about others, about your offer, your opportunity, and about your industry. So we want to identify their current beliefs first. And I'll give you examples just to bring this to life. So let's say you are selling a program that teaches people how to lose weight. And on your sales page, you talk about how your program can help them lose, let's say, 5 to 10 kilos in 3 months. And that's kind of like your promise. So that's a pretty standard promise. It's something that I used to do when I was a weight loss coach. So that's a great promise. But if we don't understand their current beliefs, the first step is not to convince them that your program could help them lose 5 to 10 kilos in 3 months. The first goal starts much further back than that, but because before you can convince them that they can lose 5 to 10 kilos with your program in 3 months, they have to believe other things first. So first they have to believe that their current situation isn't great and they need to try a different way of doing things. So they need to believe that first. They also need to believe that if they are going to try a different approach, that it's going to work. And they need to believe that your method is the way to go and not, I don't know, keto, calorie counting, doing more cardio, whatever it is that you stand against. So you might have a methodology in your weight loss that they've never tried before, or maybe they have tried and their belief is, I've tried that, it doesn't work. So we've got to deal with some of these beliefs. We also need to convince them that it is actually possible to lose 5 to 10 kilos in 3 months without having to do an hour of cardio a day, having to give up all their favorite foods, having to have 0 carbs, whatever it is. So we've got to show them what they don't need to do. So can you see that there's a lot of belief shifting that needs to happen besides just buy my program, it's going to work. It's going to work for you. Here are all the things that you get in the program. There's a whole lot of education that needs to happen first to shift their beliefs. So all of this comes first in the belief shifting process. Because if they don't believe that, if they don't believe all those things, you don't have a chance at selling in your program. So you're going to write down what are some beliefs that your ideal clients might have, and there's 4 areas, and I've got these on the worksheet. So the first one's themselves. And the question is, it won't work for me because. And so people have these ideas that they are a special case, that they are unique, and that everybody else can do it, but it won't work for me. So I'll give you some examples. It won't work for me because I'm an introvert. It won't work for me because I'm really not good at tech. I grew up before there was tech. It won't work for me because I have too much going on in my life, as though, you know, you're the only person that that has too much going on in their life. It won't work for me because I'm an extrovert. It won't work, you know, whatever the reason that people come up with about themselves. Number 2 is you as the coach, or, you know, as the expert, or other people. So the question that we ask here is, or the statement that we use here is, it's easy for you, or it's easy for other people because. So people might say, it's easy for you because you have a uni degree. It's easy for you because you're super confident. It's easy for you because you've done heaps of Facebook Lives before. It's easy for you because you're single. It's easy for you because you're not looking after your aging parents. It's easy for you because you're good at marketing. Whatever it is that comes up, it's a belief and we want to capture it. Number 3, the opportunity won't work. So this is what you're offering. They may not believe that it's going to work. So we need to list out, what are they currently believing? So your opportunity won't work because it's a group program and I've never done a group program before. I will only get results if it's one-on-one. I'll only get results if it's a done for you program. I'll only get results if I get X, Y, Z, or if I don't get X, Y, Z. And then the fourth thing is, I don't trust your industry, or I don't trust people like you. So if you're in one of those industries that does, typically in your industry, there's a lot of spam that goes out in people's inboxes. They might have painted you as that kind of person, and you've got to really identify the beliefs that people have. Like, I don't trust you because everybody that I've spoken to in your industry is dodgy, or everybody, or I've been burned, or everybody's pushy, for example. So we want to identify their current beliefs. That's step one. How are we tracking, team? Is everybody good? Is everybody writing fast? Great to have you here. So good to have you here. Okay, step two, identify their future beliefs. Identify their future beliefs. So we've got their current beliefs, now their future beliefs. This is what we write down of what we want them to believe instead. What do you want your clients to believe instead? I'll give you some examples. This is simple and anyone can do it. We want them to believe I'm credible, I'm a credible authority, and I know what I'm talking about, and I get results. This is worth your time because of the result that you can get. I offer a desired outcome. My offer is proven. My offer is valuable. You can take action risk-free. These are the things that we want them to believe. So write down all the things that you want them to believe. And then step three is we go through this 5-step framework. And this is the 5-step belief shifting framework. If you've got a pen and paper, you're probably already making notes, but write these down. Okay, number one, in the 5-step belief shifting framework. Problem. Number one is problem. So we grab attention by talking about someone's problem. Because most people are thinking about their problems. They're walking around thinking about what's going wrong in their life, or walking around thinking about what they want to change or what they don't want in their life anymore. And so we want to meet them there, but we don't want to leave them there too long. This is where a lot of people get it wrong, is they talk so much about struggle and then they attract people that are really down and out struggling. So don't spend ages talking about the problem. It just annoys people. We need to touch on it, but we can do it in a classy way that's not on and on about, are you frustrated with this and struggling and everything's hard, and really unpacking the problem. We don't need to unpack the problem. What we do need to unpack is the cause of the problem. Now, some copywriting trainers or some marketers, they say agitate the problem, push and push and push on the pain point. That's when people are in pain, that's when they want to change. But the way this framework is different is that people get sick of hearing that. Of course, there has to be some tension so that we can show them that we know how to solve it, but we also need to move to the cause of the problem. And this is an insight as to what is actually causing the problem from your experience, from your expertise. And it's different to what they think is causing the problem, usually. So I'll give you some examples. So let's say you are a copywriting coach, and the problem is that you're solving is that people aren't responding to content online. And the causes, they think the cause of the problem is that it's their algorithm, or I'm just not a good writer, or whatever else they come up with as a reason for why it's not working. The market's saturated, blah, blah, blah. What you know is the cause of the problem is they don't actually have a formula for writing influential content. So your post would be to show them what the real cause is. You don't have a formula. Or let's say you are a parenting coach, and the problem is that you're constantly arguing, or the parents are constantly arguing with each other, and they think the cause is the partner, where you know the cause is actually you don't have a parenting plan. You're not on the same page. Or maybe you're a dating coach, and the problem is that you keep attracting the wrong men, and you think that there's just no good men out there. But as the expert, the dating coach knows that the problem potentially could be that you are not matching your level of ambition, or your profiles that you've written aren't well written, right? So there's different causes, what people believe are the cause and what you know is the cause. Okay, the third thing is consequence. So with the consequence, we want to describe what might happen if they don't change it. And again, don't spend too long here. Spend the majority of the time talking about the cause, talking about the solution, but we also want to really just show them, hey, if this doesn't change, this is what can happen. Or if you've had this problem for a while, this could be the consequence. So we'll just briefly touch on consequence. That's number 3. And then we move to number 4, which is solution. And spend most of your time here. This is how to create valuable content for people, is actually spend time on the solution, but give high level strategies, high level tips. Like they say in the Black Belt program that I'm in, they say, give know-how. And it's not know-how as in know-how, it's actually know-how. Don't give the how, give know-how. So give the what and the why, give why it's important, give what it is, but don't give them the specific detail of exactly how to do it in detail. Give more like an overview. And that's what I do in all of my Facebook Lives. I do give high level how, but not all the detail on how to do it specifically. So that's solution. So give them some great tips, give them some value, but they still need you to actually put it into place, because what you're sharing is tip of the iceberg. What I share on my Facebook Lives videos here in this Amplify Your Influence Facebook group is the tip of the iceberg compared to what I share with all my clients. People who are paid, they get the bulk of it, and they also get expert eyes working on their business. So it's not just theory, it's me helping them, right? So you're sharing value, you're sharing solution, but you're not diving deep into actually how to get it done. So that's number 4 is solution. 4, yeah. And then number 5 is action. This is where we call them to action. So you let them know this is a small part of a whole system. This is a small part of a whole system. So for example, what I'm sharing with you in this video is a small part of my compelling content module, which is 1 module out of 8 in my Client Attraction Accelerator Roadmap. And it's one of the many trainings that sit under that 1 module. So it's just a small piece, and it's just the what and the why. It's not the detailed how. So we go into the call to action where we talk about, hey, if you want help with this, if you want to take the next step, if you actually want to get this done, this is what you need to do. So that's a 5-step framework, team. This is part of, like I mentioned, the Client Attraction Roadmap, which I use to help people get fully booked with clients and reach 10K or more consistently every month. If you'd like a copy of the worksheet, again, just drop the word worksheet in the comments now. If you're on my page, by the way, just click the button to get the worksheet. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the comments. And if you're watching this on Facebook, just comment worksheet and we'll hook you up. I have some exciting news. I'm starting a new pilot program this month where I'm helping people with their messaging, with their content, making their content more compelling and getting the signature offer really irresistible. And I'm looking for a few specific people. If you want to add 5K or more to your business in the next 30 days, if you know how to get results with your clients, and you could look after another 3 to 5 clients in the next 30 days, and if you're willing to implement a really simple plan, step-by-step plan that I give you, it does require you to put aside time and get it done. But it's only for 5 people. I put it out in my socials on Monday, I think it was, and 3 people have joined the program already. So there's 2 spaces left. It's one-on-one. So I don't offer one-on-one very often. So this is a one-on-one pilot program that I'm launching. And if you're curious and you want to be one of the 2 that's left, just DM me the word pilot, P-I-L-O-T, just DM me the word pilot and I'll get you the details. So I hope this framework's been useful for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Big love to you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, friends.